At this point in the series, I have created a threat involving an NPC we simply call Big Man, and I take the opportunity of a missed roll to put that character in play. Big Man goes on to become one of my very favorite villains. He's just a heck of a lot of fun to play. Enjoy. All right, let's go ahead and just fast forward to after school then. Jonah and Margo, you are both looking for Austin.
I'm actually using my connection with Tony, Rhodey, and Don to help me look for him. So what we all do is we all walk in like different directions, and when someone like gets the trigger of seeing him, we all feel it, and then we all reconnect.
I like that. That's good. I feel like Jonah's the kind of person who's always on people's lips, right? It's like, what's Jonah doing? What's Jonah up to? You know. So let's pick up with that. I mean, Margo, you've heard that Jonah's looking for Austin. What do you do?
I'll come drifting up next to Jonah and like, here, you're looking for our little buddy Austin too, huh, Jonah? You guys seen him around?
We haven't yet. He's got to be around here somewhere.
I can smell the axe. I know he's around here somewhere. What are you hoping to score off of Austin? I got some pretty decent weed off of him this morning.
Maybe some weed. Maybe something else. I don't know yet.
Cool.
I think Austin is actually trying to make himself not found, though. And I think part of the reason why Austin may be trying to make himself not found is because the vice principal of the school has been like calling people into her office to interview them about like, do you know Kyle Norwood and what were you up to with Kyle Norwood? And Austin, being something of an infamous figure at the school, would be probably implicated if something bad happened to Kyle Norwood because he's a criminal. I think Austin's trying not to be found. So I want to swing it back to Jonah. Jonah, would you do anything in particular to try to find him or what? Apart from just like, searching with your boys. I mean, or Austin's worried that people try to implicate him in Kyle's disappearance, right? And so he's like a little nervous about that. So he kind of like took off at lunch, right? That'll get back to you.
And I think that, if I was just asking everyone and no one could give me an answer and I've got all my eyes out and I'm not seeing anyone, then I'd probably try and just get something to use from someone else. Who do I know has some weed?
Margo just said, I just got some shit from her this morning.
Oh, he did, right? Okay, so I after like a bit, I think I turned to Margo and I'm like, hey, do you have any extra? I mean, I could pay you. Or well, I can't pay you, but Tony can pay you. And then so you can get some more, right? You connect with Austin for a lot.
I'll be getting more. Yeah, I can split this baggie with you.
Oh, that should be good. I just need to like make a blunt, like one, and that should probably do the trick.
You could pull that string to get the whole baggie if you really want to go in.
And then I think he pauses for a moment and he was like, "Oh, you don't mind if we take it all, right?" And I'll spin the string.
Sure.
So Margo, he's spinning string for that. So you could mark an XP.
Yep.
Well, so I need to make that painful then. What were you going to do with the weed, Margo? Just go get high, or do you have something in particular in mind for it?
I was just going to go get high out in the woods.
Who's currently got your eye or your fancy on the chart here? I know you've been somewhat interested in Alan. You guys have sort of a mutual creeper vibe.
Alan and Chad.
So I want to cut to Serina then. So Serina, I think Alan is like, do you guys smoke together? I mean, seems like something you would do together. Maybe.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. I've heard Margo and that kid Austin, I've heard they've got like a lot of good shit. Like we should try to go get something from them and just go hang out tonight. What do you say?
Yeah, they have some good shit, but I don't know. They seem a little bit off at times, if you know what I mean.
He's like, yeah, I guess. I mean, I see you looking at Margo. Like, there's, like, she's kind of, I don't know. Like, I kind of like what we've got going on, but I can understand if you want to like sort of widen your palate, your taste, your taste sensations. I mean, I figured that's what you were checking her out for.
A little bit. I mean, she's an interesting one. She seems a bit off from everybody else, but in control, which is not what you see with almost everybody else. I mean, you sort of expect everybody to be a little bit needy and codependent, sort of like Jonah, but I don't know. Margo seems all by herself, strong, but curious. What do you think about Margo?
Well, so how close are you with Alan? Like, what's the nature, besides the fact that you feed on him, like, what is just the basic nature of your relationship? Are you friends? Like, if he gave you a hard time about something, would that be,
We definitely spend more time together than like just like classmates type things. He's not like somebody I'm gonna like tell my deepest, darkest secrets to. Somebody's there. He might happen to know them just because we spend time around each other, but he's not like the person I go to confess to type
Okay,
thing.
that's good. I don't know. I just think she's interesting. I mean, by herself, like, who goes to the forest by themselves? Like, camping party of one, like, what does it make any sense?
Only the people who want trouble. That forest is not a nice. You've heard of what all the old timers say. Like, that's a
He's like,
place
well, you don't really believe that stuff, do you, Serena? I mean, come on.
I'm like, I don't know. Have you been out to the forest, like, and just by yourself? Like, I feel like the forest wants to kill me.
2 months ago, I would have thought you were crazy, but, you have been drinking my blood. That's sort of opened up my eyes to the possibility of, I don't know, maybe things just aren't the way they seemed. And I think Margo's not the way she seems. I think there's something going on. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, maybe if we got together with Margo and Austin and got a little high, maybe we could figure out that. That might be a good idea, actually.
Yeah, I'll go touch base with her. Just kind of.
Okay.
I don't know. I think she's probably like a little weirded out by me anyway, because I know she's. I don't know.
Yeah, she keeps staring at both of us.
We should just rip that Band-Aid off. And
yeah, definitely.
He's gonna go find Margo.
Perfect.
Lilith, what are you up to right now?
She just sort of like bounces up excitedly, and I think if it was like a TV show or a movie, you'd get the Ferris Bueller like da-na-na-na egg, like whenever he's like on by someone, that song. I don't know what it is. And then she gets sort of like rosy cheeked, and she's like, "Hey, how's it going?"
Hey, Lilith. It's going all right. That stuff at lunch with Margo and Chad, that was crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, you were the one that stirred up some of the shit there, though, right?
Wow. I mean, no, it was all them. Like, it wasn't me. Like, they were doing everything. I was just sort of highlighting you. I mean, you had the video. Like, you could see what was going on there. Like, it was them. I was just highlighting their misfortune. I mean, it was kind of entertaining, though, wasn't it?
It was very entertaining, and she sort of like laughs and then gives you like the playful slug on the shoulder kind of thing, because any contact is good contact when you like somebody.
Oh, that's perfect. And I kind of like I take it and like maybe step like just like a half step back and then like step back in like as you hit me, and I kind of like look at you and I'm like, so what's up? Just hanging out after school? Like, because I'm assuming this is like right after Alan left, right?
Yeah. Like, I think
Okay.
she came out, and then she was even sort of like waiting a little, and then when he left, perfect. She was like, "Oh yes," and swooped in.
So like we're walking towards the diner, and like I'm like, you want to walk with me? I'm heading towards the diner, and we'll like maybe we can get a milkshake. I know it was easier when Kyle was around. You could just smile at him; he'd give you a free milkshake. But
those were the days.
Those were the days.
Yeah. And then I think she automatically is like, "Yeah, I'd love to share a milkshake with you." Right? With the
that's so awkward.
I look at you a little bit, and I'm like, yeah, maybe. Yeah, we'll see. Let's go and let's find out. What's your favorite type of milkshake? Because we can't share a milkshake if we like different things. It just doesn't work that way.
I think she's doing that like the gauging thing where she's like, just that's how your face like lights up, and then she's like, chocolate.
Cool. chocolate sounds good. And so I think we'll walk there.
What if, like, maybe as we start walking, Lilith sort of like guides you in that direction, like we're facing the other way, and then she puts like her hand on the small of your back, sort of thing, to like lead you that way, but
Yeah.
get the skin to skin contact kind of thing.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, I think that makes a ton of sense. Maybe like you say, like I know a back way to the diner or something, or you want to show me something cool, like on the back of the building or something, like some piece of graffiti. And so like you take the lead to like lead me somewhere else.
Yeah, I'll say like I know the way, and maybe like I can't wait to share something with you, right? And it's not without implying like the milkshake.
While I push you into the alley.
Yeah.
So you're attempting to turn someone on that won't work. It's shut down with hot, basically. Yeah.
So I think you should like, as you like grab like the small in the back and like try to lead me there, I think that's where like the roll should come in, and then we'll see what the shutdown turns into to basically how I react.
Roll hot.
7.
On a 7 to 9, you choose one from below, but you leave a sour impression, and so they give you a condition in return. So choose one of the 3 below, and then Serina will give you a condition.
Fictionally, the most sense, like I don't think she would just give up on it, so I think she'll carry one forward, and that'll be sort of like, I'm gonna try harder next time.
Right? Yeah, that makes sense. Well, what condition do you want to give her?
Like I want to go with something like, since she's touching me on the small of the back, something like touchy-feely or handsy or something like that. More appropriate to either of those.
I think like awkward, because Lilith just seems kind of fundamentally awkward at this point. Like,
yeah, she's definitely not super suave. That's for
sure.
Yeah, cool. All right, so yeah, maybe, and you're just carrying one forward, so like there's no condition on me. So I think what happens is like I take your hand from the small of my back. I'll still let you lead, but like instead, like I'm taking your hand and putting it in my hand. So like you're leading me by the hand instead of like you're still guiding me, like I'm still following you, but it's less intimate than you would want type thing.
Right. Yeah. Right. And she's still, it makes sense for the +1 forward too, because she still gets some contact that way.
Right.
Awesome. Margo, you're like looking for Chad, right? Is that the plan?
Yes.
I think, however, you smell Alan first. You smell Alan like approaching you, coming toward you, and I want to know like what does Alan smell like? Like how do you know?
It's like just a fainter whiff of Serina, like with a bit of like the basic male smell underlying it, so it's kind of a subtle layering.
Okay, nice.
You kind of like take a pause a half step and then keep walking.
He's being so like weird about it. Like I think he goes so far as to like walking behind, like putting trees between himself and you, so that if you like turn, I'm just casually like leaning on this tree or whatever, right? But then he's like casually leaning on the tree that's like 20 paces down the way as well, right? Like it's that kind of thing. What do you do?
I'm just gonna stop and turn around and look at him and do the what?
He goes, me?
Yeah, you creeper.
He's like, I'm not trying to get up in your shit. My bad.
Well, no, 20 feet away, you can't get up in my shit. What's the deal? Why are you following me?
And he kind of looks around to make sure no one's looking, and he kind of like does that like kind of, I'm gonna jog toward you, but like I'm bouncing cool, it's all cool, I'm like, hey, and he like kind of tries to like slap your hand, hey Margo, does that thing.
Yep.
So I've heard, my friend Serina and I, we heard that you might have some stuff, like stuff.
Oh, I'm kind of out right now, and I was trying to find Chad here, though. Have you seen him around?
I heard what you did to him at lunch, dude. That's fucking badass.
Girls got to do what a girl's got to do.
Yeah. So you don't have anything right now, because we're kind of like.
Sorry, I just that last baggie, I just passed it off to Jonah, and Austin would be your guy, but I heard he ditched out of school or something. because the vice principal was like asking lots of questions. I don't know. I assume it has something to do with Kyle.
And then he just looks like a little dejected. He was like, oh, that sucks. I mean,
Yeah, no kidding.
Serina and I were hoping to like get to know you a little better. Like, I don't know, you seem like you could use a friend.
I plan on having something later on today. You guys want to meet out in the woods later on this evening or something? You know, say 7:30-ish?
Yeah, the woods. Okay. I think like, you know, he knows that like Serina is not into the woods, right? But he'll figure it out later. He'll roll that, he'll cross that bridge when he gets to it. He's like, yeah, cool. That sounds good. Awesome. Like, and maybe there's like a geographical feature you're going to meet next to. Like,
yeah, like, well, there's a path, you know, a main path that goes through there where people walk their dogs and stuff. And maybe there's like this, there's the pond where Jonah and his gang are off to one side, but the other way, there's like maybe like wildflower gardens and stuff like that.
Yeah, okay.
I'll say over there.
All right, cool. Yeah, he's like, all right, awesome. Like 7:30?
You got it.
He's like, awesome. And he like, you know, kind of goes in low, like, you know, kind of slap your hand again, right?
I'll stoically hold my hand out. Let him hit
it. Nice. All right, cool. Jonah, what are you up to?
I think what I probably do is I probably go home to grab. I have this bag under my bed, like a little duffel bag. I get home and my house is it's like this old house that's like 2 stories. My parents have kind of let it go in a way. I open the door and like the doorknob is jiggly. I walk in and my parents are in the living room watching TV and the place is just a mess. Like there's stuff all over the floor. I'm just going to try and quietly walk by. My father is probably on disability. I think that my mother like sells Avon and things like that.
Okay, nice.
If I can make a suggestion about what she sells, did you guys ever get the Monavie people?
Oh yeah.
There? Yeah. Where like they take that shot every day to
acai berry juice.
Yeah. We had like people driving those like Mercedes when it was hot or whatever, and it would say like Monavie on the side, and they're like, I got it from selling Monavie and stuff, right? And I was like, yeah, right.
You've got one parent on disability, and the other parent's always just trying to like maybe not get rich quick, but like trying to find a shortcut, right? Like always like trying a shortcut to like success or whatever.
The mom's name is Mary. Dad's name is maybe like Bob. So yeah, I think I try to be quiet, but like the door squeaks as I'm coming in.
Mary says, oh, hey, honey, how was school?
It was fine.
Well, why don't you come in here and tell us about it?
I have to be really quick. I have to go.
Come in here. Just come in here. You know, I've got you're going to be here tonight for the. I think it's going to be. I want to do one of those things where like she's hosting like a party, you know, like a sales party, you know, like it would be like a Tupperware or like an Avon party, or I don't know if Monavie has stuff like that, but oh, we're gonna call this stuff. I'm kind of playing off the Monavie. We're gonna call it New Life, NU Life, right? She's like, so, well, you're gonna be here tonight for the New Life party, right?
And I like pause and I look her. I think I look at her in the eyes, but then I like turn away a little bit, and I'm like, yeah, I'll be here.
Jonah, you've said that before. This is not, and I'm not gonna be embarrassed again. Everyone was asking about you last time, and you weren't here. Even after I bought you that suit to wear for the party, and you weren't here. Come on, Jonah. Like, don't. I wasn't born yesterday. I didn't just fall off the turnip truck.
He like rubs the back of his head, and then he's like, look, I just have to study with Tony for a little bit, and I'm worried I might be a little late, but I'm gonna get back.
Keep it cool.
Oh, I did really well. I got an 11.
On a 10 up, you gain insight and initiative. You can ask me a question, take one forward to acting on it.
How he can make his mom obsess over something aside from himself. Like, what can his mom obsess over that will distract her from himself?
Oh, nice. That's pretty good. Maybe Ben lives next door. Okay. Remember Ben? the kid who kind of like really admires you and is like, I feel like Ben is like the neighbor skin, right? I think Ben lives next door, and like Ben is the kind of person that your mom would really like because he's easily malleable. Ben would probably want to hang out with her because that might give him a chance to hang out with you. Like I think Ben is your angle there, and he lives right next door.
But I was talking to Ben, and he said that he would hang out and help out tonight.
She's like, do you think he would? Ben's a nice boy. I like
Oh.
Ben. He certainly doesn't have as many tattoos as you do, so that's in his favor. I think she's into it, but you got to get convince Ben, right? So the diner's the double Q diner. Like, it looks like you're stepping into like the past, right? Like when you step inside, there are like, Formica floors and like turquoise vinyl booths and lots of chrome jukebox, right? You go inside, and I think the woman who runs the double Q, I think she's the owner as well. Her name is, let's just go full Twin Peaks. Her name is Norma. She's got that, like, I was really popular in high school, but now I'm pushing 40 and I'm a little faded. But she's still kind of fundamentally like, pretty. And a lot of the like older guys in town, the people who run businesses now, who've been around since high school, they all still remember Norma really fondly, right? Like they still have like really, they're still having their high school drama with Norma, right? Like their turmoils. And I think she knows you, because I think she knows everybody. She's that kind of person. She's like, oh, hey, Serina. Hey, Lilith, right? Like, can't miss that red hair. And she's like, that's beautiful.
Thanks, Norma.
She's like wiping down a counter, right? Well, can I get you guys anything? What do kids drink now? Do you drink coffee this late in the day? Piece of pie?
I think we just want a chocolate milkshake.
Chocolate milkshake. I can do that. She goes to the back to get a chocolate milkshake. All right. So you guys are in one of the like a back corner booth.
Yeah, perfect. And so I think like as we sit down and like maybe we're waiting for the milkshake, I kind of like look at you and I'm like, so what's up? You seem a little bit different than normal today. Like something going on, something interesting?
Yeah, I think she like does her trademark blush thing.
Yeah,
she
yeah,
always
yeah.
does.
Like an anime character.
Well, the only thing different today, really different about today is you.
Me? What? I mean, I'm just me. What did I like? I mean, I think the interesting thing was Margo and Chad. I was just pushing things along.
I don't know how to say this really, but I'm normally not that attracted to girls.
I love how hopelessly awkward Lilith is. She's so hopeless.
I start to like sort of blush and like, how if you're like standing at the like sitting at the chair like or the booth and kind of like maybe like leaning on the table and like into it, and like at that I kind of like push back and like stand back and like I'm leaning against the back of the booth instead. And so like I like just getting as much distance as I can like from that moment. So is this because I did something at lunch, or is this like where's this coming from?
It hit me as soon as I saw you today.
Well, I mean, I'm flattered. Yeah.
Norma comes with you. And she sets him down. I'm gonna push on Lilith's awkward here a little bit.
Yeah.
And she sets the milkshake stand. She's like, so girls, what are we here today? What are we doing here today? You guys talking about boys?
And I'm like, yeah, we were talking about just this jerk Chad at school, but not.
Oh yeah, he comes in here every now and then. He's kind of I know his type. Trust me, I know his type really well. But still, like, and she kind of nudges Lilith a little bit. She's like, he's pretty fit though, right? Like he's in good shape. He's a good looking guy. I mean,
I think she like had her face like this kind of thing, and then when she nudges it, she like falls like, off of her head, right? And then she's like, I don't know. I have to like somebody's personality before I can find them attractive, and then it's sort of like a self-realization about Serina too, because when Serina stepped in, that's when she was like, oh, kind of thing too, right?
Yeah, good. She's like, well, for personality, she's like, you can't beat Ben, right? I mean, he's a cute kid.
Ben's weird, Norma.
She's like, oh, she's like, be nice. He's such a nice, he's a really, really good kid. He worked for me here. He worked for me last summer, and like everyone just seemed to like him so much. You know, he's just so friendly, so helpful, so eager to please.
I think with the mention of Ben, like you see Serina kind of like physically like turn in the booth, so like she's facing Norma, and kind of like looks up a little bit and like, Norma, I'm pretty sure if Ben were in high school with you when you were in high school, he wouldn't have been the kind of guy you would have gone after either.
Ooh, that's a shutdown. Ouch.
Yeah.
That's a shutdown.
Yeah, snap.
Calling Norma on her hypocritical bullshit.
Oh no, I failed miserably.
Norma's sassy.
The little bell up front rings, little ding ding ding. She's like, and she kind of looks at you and she's like, hold that thought. And then she steps away to go like deal with whoever just walked in. You've never seen this guy before. He's, you know, not many new people roll through Mercy Falls. It being somewhat of a remote quasi-resort town, and it's off season, right? This guy, boy, he cuts an imposing figure, and you can't miss him, right? He's built like a house, except he's not really muscular. He's kind of like somewhere between like, it's like muscle and fat, right? Like he's just solid, right? About 6.5 feet tall, and he seems even taller. Huge though, like 3 feet wide at the shoulder, just a lot of volume, right? Wears a soft yellow suit with a bolo tie and a cowboy hat and boots. And like he has to actually duck down a little bit to get through the frame of the door, right? You know, Norma comes up to greet him and he seems to be asking her some questions. You can't really make out what they're saying, but she can't. She's like, I don't know. And she kind of says a little louder. She's like, I just don't know. I'm sorry. But can I get you a cup of coffee maybe while you're here? He goes, oh, sure. That'd be fine. That'd be real, real fine. And he steps up and kind of sits down at the bar to have his coffee.
And I think like Lil is still embarrassed and awkward, right? So I think she tries to like get back at Norma by saying a little too loudly to Serina. And I think that's her type, not Ben.
That cat that just walked in, he turns to see you and he kind of like tips his cowboy hat at you. Well, good afternoon, little ladies. It sure is a fine, fine day up here in the mountains.
Why are you here? We haven't seen you around.
Well, my goodness, that's not exactly a very hospitality-like question. Surely, someone who's just passing through wants a cup of coffee and a piece of pie doesn't have to be subjected to an interrogation.
I thought it was just a question, not an interrogation, and then she like sips on one of the straws from the chocolate.
I just find in life that lots of people have questions. Everybody's got a question they want to ask. The most important question is, who among us is entitled or responsible to give the answers? That's what I want to know.
I think Lil just like looks at Serina like, to save me.
Yeah, so I look at you and then I look over to the guy and I'm like, everybody's got their own questions. Maybe Norma brought him coffee. Like, she bring him anything else?
No, just a cup of coffee, but she did hear him say pie, and so she's kind of like she's kind of like turn the case toward him or whatever, you know.
And like I walk over to him and like it's almost like I'm directing his gaze and Norma's like to the pie that like Norma's trying to display. Like what I'm trying to do is like a combination, like I'm both trying to get him to like focus on something else, as well as showing Norma again, like, you're not hot shit anymore. Like I'm the one who's in charge now, like type thing. So like I think like I walk behind him and I take my hand and like bring it like maybe across his shoulder as like I walk behind him, go stand like right by where the pie display is, and then I'm like, you can ask all the questions you want and you can get a whole bunch of answers, but they're not what you're looking for. And sometimes the things that you're looking for are right in front of you.